What's good, YouTube? So, just want to say thank you to everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's new to the channel, anybody that's this guy just totally cut me off. Anybody that's new to the channel, and everybody that's already subscribed. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate all the comments and everything that you guys are doing on the channel. So really quickly, I just wanted to talk about what it's like to own this car, and just the overall feel. What it's like to own it, what it's like to drive it, what it's like to just be in it, and for the most part, honestly, it's just enjoying the ride, enjoying the sounds, enjoying the feel, and you feel like a boss when you're in this car. That's just the bottom line. You feel like you're on top of the world, in my opinion. And I did notice one other thing too about this car, is that it's a little bit higher than the slim body models for some reason. Like, the slim body models are a little bit lower, and maybe it has something to do with the wheels, probably, or the suspension. But the car sits almost like a truck, like an SUV almost. You feel it as soon as you sit in it. But with the slim bodies, you kind of go down a little bit. It's a little bit lower to the ground. So that's one thing I definitely noticed about it. And it definitely feels tougher. You can feel the weight of the car, even though it feels really well balanced. But you can feel the weight. You can feel the power. Right now I have it in eco mode. Just push it a little bit. And you can hear the little crackles and pops in the back. You can't really hear them right now, but it's insane. Like, the power, you can instantly feel it. And I wasn't even hitting the gas that much. The car just wanted to go, and the car wants to go every single time. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I put it in sport and track. I know the shifts are going to be a little bit tougher, but for the most part, you can feel the weight, you can feel the power. And what it's like to drive this car is you get a lot of looks from everybody. You get a lot of looks, you get a lot of props. I've had a lot of people just compliment the car and stuff like that, and a lot of people just not like it because of the sound. Some people like it, some people don't. But for the most part, a lot of people do like it because they realize what kind of power you're dealing with. For those that know this car. And for the ones that don't, they'll let you know. But for the most part, a lot of people like it. And for some reason, I have a lot of people just following me around sometimes, taking pictures. Like, I've had a lot of, especially like teenagers and stuff like that. Like, when they see this car, it's like they already know what it is. So they start following me, taking pictures. Like, I've had a lot of kids like already starting to take pictures and following me. Like, one guy the other day was like following me, he was like following me home. So I had to take another route just so he couldn't follow me or whatever. But I totally get it. So it's a surreal feeling, driving a car like this. It's not even a Hellcat. I could understand more if it was a Hellcat, I guess, but even the 392s get a lot of love. So that's something to be said for sure. The wide body package, in my opinion, is definitely one of the best. I think Dodge did an incredible job just making sure that they had this car tuned properly for this type of setup, with the wheels and with the weight of the car, the distribution, everything. I mean, everything is well done. So I always give props to Dodge for doing such a good job. But yeah, it definitely feels like you're a boss in this car. That's just the best way, I guess, you can describe it, because you know exactly what's under the hood. You know what kind of power you're dealing with. You know that your power is on tap. You can just, at a flick of a few buttons or a button, you got 500 horsepower right off the bat. And that's, crank, of course, I'm talking about. Even though it's rated at 485, I don't believe it's 485. I still believe it's like over 500, to be honest with you guys, because you can clearly feel the power. And I know the car's still new, it's still breaking in. I'm still at 487 right now. Gonna be touching the 500 mark here pretty soon. But honestly, guys, the power is just insane in this car. Like, this car is ready to go. I would highly recommend anybody that gets this car, if you've never driven a V8, or if it's your first time maybe driving a Scat Pack or are just not comfortable yet, take your time, learn the car, put it in eco mode and feel out the car first, because I'm telling you, like, this, it's like night and day compared to a V6. Like, it doesn't even compare. Maybe the closest it can come to is maybe like an all-wheel drive or something like that, but even then, real-world drive cars just feel different. They feel better. I don't know, in my opinion, they feel better than all-wheel drive, even though all-wheel drive is good for certain states that snow a lot, like Illinois, where I'm at right now, and other states. But all-wheel drive functions are really good if you want to be quick off the line, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be fast. Like, this car is quick and it's fast. I think the only biggest problem, obviously, is when it puts the power down, is where it struggles the most, because you're dealing with rear wheel drive. It needs to put the power down and such. So anyway, I know you guys probably already know this kind of stuff that I'm talking about, but I just wanted to kind of touch on it a little bit. But basically, you could feel the power as soon as you hit that gas pedal. And when it comes to braking, you can feel the braking power. I mean, this is so different from my V6 Camaro. I mean, this car, when it wants to stop, it will stop. Actually, sometimes I even just take my foot off the pedal, and the car will want to stop on its own, because those brake rotors are so big and there's so much bite on them. Like, the car is literally stopping on its own. And I like I said, I get it. It's a new car. It's got a rear end and whatever, but literally this car is stopping, and the transmission is also helping in that regard too. It's downshifting properly with the proper RPMs. It knows exactly what to do, and it's so smooth. There's a few times where it's a little bit just jerky or whatever, but for the most part, this transmission is very, very smooth. So the braking is excellent, in my opinion. The braking is excellent. The transmission is great. I mean, I don't even feel the transmission sometimes. Like, I don't even shift it. It's already up to 5. And I'll take some pictures later on, or some video later on, so you can see exactly how the car shifts. But man, it shifts so fast. Like, my Camaro is nowhere near this. I mean, even though my old Camaro used to shift pretty good, but this is on another level of shifting and smoothness, and just overall feel and quality. So I don't want to downplay the V6, honestly, because obviously it was like at about 60,000 miles or so when I got rid of it. So there's something to be said about that. But then this car obviously is newer, so it's going to have a braking period. It's going to feel maybe a little bit better, obviously, because it's newer and stuff like that. But honestly, guys, it's night and day. That's night and day comparison. So I'm on my way to DMV real quick, because I need to actually drop off my old plates for my old car. So I'm going to do that real fast. Then we're going to go over a brief review of the car, just to kind of show some of you guys maybe that are new to the channel, or maybe new to the car, or that are just interested in seeing more about the vehicle. I'm going to do a quick review on that. So today it's kind of hard to do that. It sucks because the weather is it's supposed to rain today, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it today, tomorrow, or what, but I'm going to try to hurry up here and then try to get it into that review in just a minute. So I'll catch up with you guys in just a second here. YouTube family, what's good? I was going to make a video just detailing a review about the car, but it just started raining in Illinois, so I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm sure you can probably see a little bit of the rain on the car, on the hood. So anyway, I'm gonna scratch that for today, and I wanted to talk about how you can customize your vehicle. So this is a good way for you to set up your car for your drive modes, and we're gonna go over that in just a minute here. But I wanted to take a look at something real quick here. So you have your shift light, which you can turn on. So that's going to display right here in the middle. It's going to turn red if you're all the way up into the high rev ranges or high RPM. So for your drive modes, you do have your transmission, of course, your shift paddles, traction, suspension, and steering. Steering seems to stay in sport, which I personally like myself. Suspension is in street, so it's a little bit more comfortable, and I actually like it in street. I've yet to try sport, but I know that track is a lot firmer, so we'll be testing that here pretty soon, once the weather lets off a little bit. And then you have your paddle shifters, which I haven't used just yet, but I will be, since we're almost, as you can see here, 496, just about to get to that 500 mark. So definitely excited about that. And then you have your transmission as well, which we'll throw into sport and track and test that out. But for your options, it's pretty cool. I think I like it because it gives you customization, right? You get to customize your car, your ride the way you want. You can either put it in custom, which throws it into street. You can throw it into sport. Everything is on sport. Your paddle shifters come on. Let me see in custom. Actually, yeah, your paddle shifters do come on as well. And then you can throw it into track as well. And you'll feel the difference when you actually have the car on. I don't have the car on right now, but you would feel the difference. Or when I first got the car, I actually put it in sport on accident, and I could feel the engine completely shift and change. And that was a mistake on my part, because I didn't mean to actually hit sport. I hit it on accident, and I felt the car change instantly. And then I quickly just hit eco. Actually, I gotta put it in auto. Oh, well, okay. So I put it in auto, and then it just went straight to eco mode. So this is what I've been driving in for most of the time, and it just stays in eco mode. You always have that little leaf that shows up here. If you don't have it in eco, let me just show you guys real quick. So I'll throw it into sport real quick, and then you'll see the electronic stability control is in sport, and you see the little green leaf that was up here somewhere is actually gone. It was just underneath that little 36 degree mark. So let me put it back into auto. You see eco mode is turned on, and you see the little green leaf there. So that's a way for you to drive if you want to save a little bit on gas. And honestly, I don't think eco mode does that much. It probably saves you like maybe 3 mpgs at the very most, maybe, if that. But I think it's good because it puts the drive, and I'll show it video later. Once you actually we shift your car into drive, you see how it's in park right now, but there's a little number that's going to show up. Your gears are going to show up there, so you'll have 1 to 8, but the car seems to stay in 2 all the time. It doesn't go to 1. So that's how you save on gas, and that's how the car saves on gas in eco mode, just to let you guys know. So it's always going to start in 2, and then it'll go 3, 4, 5, changing your gears or whatnot. But if you were to have it in sport or maybe track it, it's probably going to go down to 1. So just to give you a quick heads up on that. Now, what I did want to talk about is, when you're setting up your car, for me personally, I'm going to be throwing it into sport. So this is probably what I'm going to be driving in most of the time. But for now, until I hit that 500 mark, that's what I'm going to be at. And then you can actually do your race options here, like I said, if you want to, or you can go into auto setup. And this is where you can kind of decide what you want, right? If you want the paddle shifters on, if you want the transmission in sport or track, and then you can customize it however you want. Pretty cool stuff. And I think it's a good way for you to learn about your vehicle too. So for example, if you wanted to learn about what the transmission can do, the car gives you more information if you just hit that little transmission button. The same thing with the paddles. It gives you information on how that works, right? So feel free to pause the video and read that if you want to. Same thing here with your traction. The suspension. And by the way, you can actually use these little arrows. See, I'm learning as I go to go to the next page. So your steering is right there. And then it shows you about eco mode. So pretty cool stuff, but you can choose whatever you want. Well, it's not going to let me right now because I think I have it in auto. So you have to put it in custom, then choose what you want. But guys, this is pretty cool. And then of course you have your valet options, which does limit the power quite a bit. And I think I've shown that in the past video. So take a look at that. But basically, my setup here pretty soon is just going to be sport. So I think I might throw the suspension into street just because I like the way it's comfortable. But other than that, everything else, I definitely want to keep into sport. So we'll check that out. And then I'm going to put it into track later on as well to check out how much power, this car will be throwing at me through those gauges that I just showed you. What is it? Performance pages. There we go. So I'm going to be looking at this to see how much power the car is generating when I have it in sport and in track. So we'll test that out, and we'll see the gauges as well when I start to do some 0 to 60 later on as well. So just wanted to throw a quick video out there just so you guys can see what it's like. And I believe this can actually take pictures. There's no media storage right now. So basically, if you put in like a USB drive or something that can, you know, record the information, it can do it for you. So I'll show that a little bit later. It's actually right over here, so I'll just show you guys. Let me show you here. Those USB little sticks, you can actually throw it in there and have it record or take pictures of some of your quarter mile times and whatever else you want to record. So it's a good way to measure performance on your vehicle. Now, granted, this is just a 392. I still firmly believe it's a 500 horsepower vehicle, but for the Hellcats, you know, and red eyes and whatnot, I mean, those cars are pushing some seriously crazy numbers. I mean, you know, a Dodge just went all out with these cars and just started just making some batshit crazy stuff. So excuse my language, but yeah, basically, guys, this is a good way to you know, customize your vehicle. You guys, if you ever get this car, you can choose, you know, how you want your car to perform, and I think that's really awesome. Not too many cars have these types of options, so I think Dodge did an excellent job just making sure that you can customize your car the way you want. And from most of the videos that I've seen from other people, it seems like it's pretty legit, but I want to test it for myself to see how the car actually performs, and if the suspension thing is a gimmick or if it's maybe something that's just made up or what. But it doesn't seem like it is to me, but I definitely look forward to testing it out. So stay tuned for that, guys. Not going to be able to do much today because it's raining, so, and it looks like it might be doing that for the next couple of days, unfortunately. But either way, I'm definitely excited to start doing something. We're almost at that 500 mark, so stay tuned, guys. I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Stay safe.